In this video, we'll show you how to change the valve cover gasket on your Nissan Altima. You can find it on CarParts.com via the link in the description. To change the valve cover gasket on your vehicle, you need to remove the two brackets connecting the engine to the engine mounts on the passenger side. You will therefore need to support the engine underneath using two jacks in order to hold it in place when the mount is removed. To access the valve cover gasket, you need to remove the engine cover. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 5mm Allen socket, unscrew the three bolts that hold the plastic cover in place. Remove the bolts using a magnetic extender. Remove the engine cover. Using a ratchet and an 18mm socket, unscrew the horizontal bolt holding the engine mount bracket next to the power steering reservoir. Using a ratchet, a 16mm socket, and an 18mm socket, unscrew the bracket's four upper retaining bolts and nut. Then remove the bracket. Using a multi-bit screwdriver, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the two retaining bolts. Then move the grounding terminals aside. Disconnect the power from the ignition coils. To do this, push on the tab and pull on the connector. Using pliers, unclip the retaining clips from the ignition coil wiring harness. You can also use a fork. Next, move the harness aside. Remove the retaining clip from the harness on the windshield frame side as well. Using flat-nose pliers or collar pliers, compress the hose retaining rings on the valve cover before removing them. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 14mm socket, unscrew the four bolts holding the second engine bracket in place to gain easy access to the valve cover. Unclip the harness retaining clip on the bracket. Then remove the bracket. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, remove the bolts holding the coils. Then remove the ignition coils. For great content, our best price, and fast shipping, download the CarParts.com app now. Next, using the same tools, unscrew the 10 valve cover retaining bolts. Then remove the cover. Protect the valves by covering them with a cloth to prevent impurities from contaminating the lubrication circuit. Before putting the valve cover back in place, you need to clean the seal surface with paper towels to ensure a perfect seal. It is important to protect the valves. You can use fine sanding paper to remove the various residues from the seal surface. You can now remove the used seal from the valve cover. Next, wipe off impurities and oil residue from the seal and spark plug holes with paper towels. With this engine, there are often sealing problems between the valve cover and the spark plug hole. In this case, the valve cover must be replaced. You can order the valve cover gasket used in the video on the CarParts.com website via the link in the description. Take the new gasket. Install the new seal on the valve cover. We also recommend applying a little gasket maker onto the 4 corners of the cylinder head to ensure a perfect seal. Put the valve cover back in place. Then screw the 10 bolts back in by hand at first. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Tightening is carried out crosswise and in 2 passes, each time with a different tightening torque. Put the coils back, pushing them in as far as possible. Then tighten the bolts by hand. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. You can now reconnect the hoses to the valve cover. Then lock them in place with the needle nose pliers. Clip the harnesses back on and reconnect the coil connectors. Put the engine bracket back in place. Retighten the 4 bolts, first by hand. Then with a ratchet to lock them in place. Reclip the harness on the bracket. Put the grounding terminals back on the engine. Once in place, screw the 2 retaining bolts back on with a ratchet. Replace the second bracket. Retighten the 4 bolts, first by hand. Then screw the nut back on by hand. Then with a ratchet to lock them in place. Screw the horizontal retaining bolt back on next to the power steering reservoir. Put the engine cover back on. Then screw the retaining bolts back in. Remove the jacks. Operation complete.